Well, it's time to switch gears again. Over the last several weeks, we've been looking at pieces of equipment. We've been looking at pumps, valves, turbines, furnaces, boilers, cooling towers, each individual type of piece of equipment. We looked at heat exchangers, different types of heat exchangers, all of those different pieces of equipment. So we've looked at it from the perspective of what does that piece of equipment do, but now we need to look at it for how to pull these pieces of equipment together. And that starts at getting us into systems. Systems, as we define it in the processing industry, is a group of pieces of equipment that work together to accomplish a goal, a task, or a specific task. So if you think about your car, let's talk about your car. Let's think about the systems that are in your car. There's an electrical system that gives us the lights, the radio, runs the fans, runs the windows. So I have electrical systems. So there's a system in my car that furnishes and runs with the electricity. It starts with the battery and the alternator, and we can move through that. Then we have the drivetrain. The drivetrain is a system. It consists of the engine which is going to provide the mechanical work that's going to turn the axle, which turn the wheels, and allows the car to move from point A to point B. We have a fuel system, a system that gets the fuel from the fuel tank using pumps and a variety of tubes or piping that's going to get that fuel to the right place into the engine. So we have different systems. We have a water or cooling system in our car using the radiator. We have a braking system in the car. So we have a lot of different systems. They're components that are grouped together in order to do a task. Now the car itself could be considered a system. So we're looking at that whole car. We're looking at that whole overview of the car. So if we talk about a refinery is going to have a number of process units. Each process unit individually can be considered a system. The distillation unit, for example. In the distillation unit, we have vessels, we have heat exchangers, we have pumps, we have a variety of piping and valves. So we have a lot of things that are in that distillation that we can group it together to be a system. But the distillation is only one piece of the overall refining process. There are other process units. For example, you might have a reformer, or you might have an isomerization unit, or you might have a sulfur removal unit. So all those pieces now become bigger pieces into a bigger system. So we're looking at, when we deal with systems, we're looking at how those things are grouped together. So we can group it together as a number of processing units. We can group them together as utilities. And in our next slide deck, or after chapter 27, we're going to focus on those utility systems, things like the water treatment system, things like the wastewater system, things like our cooling or steam systems, electricity. Those are going to be our utilities, and it doesn't matter what processing industry we're in, we're going to have those utilities. A hospital has an electrical system. A hospital has an HVAC system, an air conditioner and cooling system. So we will have certain things that are considered utilities. Water, steam, electricity, which are utilities. But overall, our overall system concept deals with pulling all those pieces together. We're going to pull those pieces of equipment to form process units. Those process units will put together into a train that allows us to convert a raw material into a finished product. So that's kind of what this overview of systems is about. I hope you look at the utility systems. That's where we are going to focus our introduction. And then later on in the process technology program, there's a whole course that deals with systems, and we look at the individual refining systems, primarily at the refinery and the gas plants. So hopefully that helps you and gets you started, and have a pleasant week.